I'm Sam.
And I'm Greg.
We're human beings, and we like movies.
We'll be doing reviews of brand new releases,
Old classics,
entire sagas,
and even TV shows and video games.
This is Reaction Time. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 62 of Reaction Time Podcast.
Big numbers.
How are you, Sam?
I'm doing solid. How are you?
Are you doing? Oh, dude, I'm doing solids.
Oh, so solids.
Yeah. Slight liquids. Gross.
That is disgusting, and I don't like it anymore.
Today, we're going to be talking about something super solid, which is Jake Gyllenhaal's body.
Yeah, honestly, this week's episode is going to be Jake Gyllenhaal's body, and then the next week we're going to talk about the movie that it's actually in.
Yes.
Because we're not doing today's just body.
This is just a body review of Jake Gyllenhaal. Then we'll do the movie review.
The abs on this man are so. Here's the deal. Some people's abs are just like their stock abs, right? Like the abs that God gives them, and then they have a low enough body fat to show them, right?
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal has figured out how to make them the size of a big person's bicep. And so each ab protrudes so far off of his body that it looks like he's an umpire in baseball.
Oh, yeah.
It is insane.
It's amazing.
It's incredible.
I don't know how he did it.
So today we're talking about the movie Brokeback Mountain. Just kidding. We're going to look at Roadhouse, which just came out this week on Amazon Prime.
Yep. It's a remake.
It is a remake of an 80s movie?
Yeah, with Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze took over the 80s.
Yes.
That man
100%.
was the Jake Gyllenhaal of the 80s.
Yeah, but he didn't have the abs.
Nobody has these
No.
abs. I don't know if I've ever seen abs like this on a human being.
No, they're so weird.
They're not flat.
No.
Each one of them is round, which I can't figure out.
It's like raised from his body.
Yeah, it's not the type of abs that you picture when you picture abs. It's a completely different category.
Yeah.
It's very strange, and I would like
It's
to
very
have
strange.
them, please.
Oh, yeah.
I would like some of my own, and I don't care where on my body you put them. I would just like to have them.
Okay.
I just have like
I'll
three.
Photoshop.
I'll have 3 on each arm, just like do 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 do.
I'll just Photoshop his abs all over your body.
Just like an ab here and an ab here. That would be great. Okay, Craig.
So what are your thoughts of this movie?
You know what? I liked it pretty good, actually.
Okay.
Not my favorite, and plenty of cheese.
Oh, yeah.
But still pretty fun.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of falls into that fun action movie category, where it's kind of the action's the only thing that matters, and the abs.
And the abs.
Yeah, and the abs. But so I think like a lot of the fighting and stuff, and kind of his, I don't know if it's the writing or if it's Jake Gyllenhaal's delivery or if it's both, but just like he's very nice about the way he puts things.
Yeah.
And it's weird and it's funny.
It's amazing.
It's great. And so that stuff I loved. And then some of the other stuff, the storyline is, and they kind of they kind of blatantly say it in the movie, like, this is the plot of a classic Western. And it 100% is. Which I kind of like that they talk about it, because then it's kind of self-aware, right?
It's like 22 Jump Street.
Yeah. So is this like a perfect movie? No. But is it an 8.9? Yes.
Oh, okay.
For me, it's an 8.9 for what it is, right?
So, I guess for me, I had a real bad struggle with one of the villains.
Was it Conor McGregor?
That's not is that the Game Night guy?
I doubt it. It's the Irish fighter.
Yeah.
Do you know who that is?
No.
He's like the best UFC fighter who's ever lived.
Really?
Yeah. So
okay,
he's not.
Well, he can't act.
No, he's not. He's not an actor, but he is an incredible fighter.
Okay.
Yeah, very
that
Irish.
Makes more sense now.
Very bad actor. Yeah. So it's kind of one of those things where if you like you, if you don't know who he is, it's like, who? Why? Why would they cast this man? But if you know who he is, you know exactly why they cast him.
Okay, that makes more sense now.
So yeah, he's like, I mean, I don't know a lot about UFC, but he's the household name of UFC, basically.
Okay.
So that's why he's in there. But yeah, he's bad.
Yeah, he's
Like,
not
bad,
great.
bad. Yeah, no.
Yeah. So I would give it a 7.3
Okay.
because it was really fun. I loved the last portion of it, but most of the, I would almost say 2/3 of the movie, there was some really cool scenes, but then there was just so much boringness.
I totally agree. There were long lulls in between fights, and I kind of went into this thinking it was going to be mostly a fighting movie,
Yeah.
and it kind of wasn't.
And
when he fought, it was awesome.
Right, that was the problem. Was the
Yes.
fighting was so cool looking, and it was like really good.
Yeah.
You know, like it felt like real fighting.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I want more and more of that. And then there was just so much of like nothing.
Do you like Rocky?
Yes.
So this is, I would say, I mean, this is not as much a fighting movie, like a pure fighting movie as Rocky, because Rocky is about like actual official fights, right? So it's a little different, but it's relatively the same. And Rocky also does not have a ton of fighting in it. But the reason Rocky works really well is because the story in between it is so compelling.
It's good.
And the story in here is
very
a classic
inspirational.
Western. Yeah. And Rocky's great. Almost all of them. After 4, it's but the first 4 Rockies, all of the stories are so good. And so it works to have these story beats and these long moments with no fighting and a little bit of training and all this, and then the big fight. Whereas this is more like really boring kind of Western type stuff, and then a bunch of fighting, you know.
Yeah.
So I agree with you on that front. I think I just was just having fun.
I was having fun too.
You know, so
Yeah.
This movie is just some fighting, some story, and Jake Gyllenhaal is very buff.
Very, very buff.
And that is basically it. So we're going to jump into spoilers now.
Yes.
Okay, Craig. Visuals.
Yes.
What you got?
So all of the fighting looked amazing.
Yeah.
Like
very well shot.
Yeah, I don't know if there was ever a time where I was like, man, that fighting was not good. Like every single thing was amazing.
Yeah.
So basically all my notes for visuals are fighting looks awesome. And then, I mean, we're in spoilers now, right? So
yeah.
I like how at the very end, it just kind of turned into a John Wick movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I wanted more of, though.
It did the entire run of Fast and Furious in one movie. Where Fast and Furious starts as street racers in movie 1, and in movie 10, or 9, I haven't seen 10. In movie 9, they're in space. Okay? In this movie, in minute 1, they're fighters, and in minute 80, they are jumping boats. And
yes.
It just gets crazy. It just gets insane.
It's super insane.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Post Malone at the beginning, fighting the dude. Why did the punches look CG?
I don't know. Is Post Malone maybe not
a fighter?
Well, like, obviously he's not a fighter, but maybe he didn't want to, like, actually fight?
Maybe, but that's lame.
I know, and that doesn't feel like Post Malone, right?
No, he seems like somebody who would get in there and he'd be like, actually, I don't want it choreographed. Let's just fight.
Yeah, please punch me. Like,
yeah, exactly. He doesn't care about his face.
No.
He's Post Malone.
It's tatted up anyways.
Yeah. So I don't know. Something about that seemed weird. That seemed like every time the punch would come in, there was like a CGI cut. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was weird. But
yeah.
Maybe the other guy didn't want to fight. I don't know.
And here's the other thing about the CGI in this movie. And I could also be wrong about it being CGI,
Mhm.
but one of the things that I would take for the best example is when Jake Gyllenhaal's on the bridge and the truck drives by him and then goes into reverse and hits him. CGI, I think.
Yes.
And somehow, and this happened with a lot of the punches, especially at the beginning. For some reason, it seemed like right as the hit was about to happen, things sped up.
Yeah, something was off.
What was that about? It was weird.
I don't know if it was maybe just like the way they were trying to film it. That
Yeah.
because it wasn't like it almost wasn't like super full CGI, right? Like it didn't feel
Yeah.
like total green screen or something like that. It was almost like a mix of the two. So
Yeah,
I wonder if
it makes me wonder if I don't know, like if if it's not CGI and if they did some weird stylistic filming choice
right.
that caused it to look, I don't know, that caused it to look like CGI, but I don't know how it
Yeah.
works.
It was it almost didn't take me out as much,
Uh-huh.
and it was almost like kind of intriguing just how it looked,
Yeah.
but it was
I was
still
kind
off.
of on the fence. Yeah.
But it was still off. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah,
still
I
something
agree.
about it that
There's still
was
something
like,
weird, and it kind of
Yeah.
died down as the movie went,
yeah.
which is also weird. So I don't know what that was all about. Maybe they were just testing things at the beginning, and as they went through, they're like, we're going to not do that anymore.
Yeah.
Could be.
Did you see the post-credit scene
I believe I did. Which one is it?
where the UFC fighter breaks out of the
out of the hospital?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
That
great.
scene was only in there to show his butt again.
Yeah, again. Keyword
it.
again.
Again, because you saw it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so one of my favorite things was when Jake Gyllenhaal is fighting Conor McGregor, which I never thought I would say that sentence, but they're fighting and, well, so McGregor has just ran the truck into the bar and he's getting out of the truck and Jake Gyllenhaal runs up and shuts the door on like part of his leg and part of his body. And he's like slamming the door into him and he kind of traps him in there. And then Conor McGregor punches through the window into Gyllenhaal's face. That was awesome.
That was legit.
Props to that.
Dude, that whole last fight scene was awesome.
It was really awesome. And
Yeah.
it ended with, I don't know how many skewer rings. 50?
Oh, so many.
So many skewer rings.
And that's and then just like the final two.
That's how you kill somebody, I guess, is you stab them and then you have two stabbies and you just stab them in a bunch of different places.
Yeah, but he
That's, I
didn't
think-
die.
Yeah, he's Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
He lives forever. He thinks that it's time to go fighting.
He takes
He thinks it. Because he's Irish.
his
Top of
smile
the
like the
morning
whole
to him.
time.
Also, can we talk about how, even though, and no disrespect, I hope he's not out there listening, even though he's the best UFC fighter in the world, his body is so weird.
Yeah.
His pecs stop about halfway down where everybody else's do. Like his pecs are barely below his collarbone. Okay? And then
His
he's
body
got
is not in proportion.
no, and he's got no definition
Yeah.
at all. I know he's like so strong and scary, but there's
Oh,
no
yeah.
definition. Whereas Jake Gyllenhaal is, I don't know how strong he actually is, but that man's got just muscles on muscles.
Oh, yeah.
His abs have abs.
He could take on The Rock at this point.
His eyes are number one. His muscles are number one. He could take on The Rock.
Yeah.
He's just, he's yoked to the brim.
His smile, the Connor or whatever, the whole time I was just
Yeah.
like, was I creeped out or
He's partially unbearable to look at,
yeah.
which is an interesting choice for a guy you put in a movie, but
Right.
fair.
I guess they wanted a real fighter, so
Yeah, I guess, yeah. But here's my question. I mean, I
Okay.
guess Jake Gyllenhaal already has some fighting training because he did Southpaw, right? I don't know how much fighting otherwise he's done,
Mm-hmm.
but it is interesting that they like train him in all of this fighting stuff, and then they don't just get another actor who can fight.
Well, and I would assume to make it look pretty good, you wouldn't need to train for super long for just those scenes.
Yeah, because he
You know
didn't
what
do
I
a
mean?
lot. Yeah,
Yeah. It all looked like real and authentic, which
Yeah.
I'm sure is what they were going for. But could you not have kind of had somebody else that would have been even just slightly better?
yeah, yeah. I don't know,
Yeah.
but whatever. It's still cool. It's just like
Yeah, oh,
Conor
yeah.
McGregor is a weird actor choice, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Super weird actor choice.
Yeah. Okay. So do you have any other story note or visual notes?
No.
So what would you give it?
I'll give it a 167.
That
I'll
seems
give
fair.
basically all the fighting like a 199
Yeah,
because it was all
great.
fantastic. And then there was just some stuff that didn't look great.
yeah, I agree.
So
I really liked the location that they picked.
yeah.
I like the keys, like when him and that girl for no reason are out in the middle of nowhere on that little sand. What's that thing called?
This sand crap.
I keep wanting to call it a sand trap, but that's what people call a bunker in golf, and that is not it.
No.
I don't know. The little tiny baby sand island.
Yeah.
Whatever that's called. Like it was all really cool looking. It was a cool setting. I think it was kind of an uncommon setting. I think a lot of things are just like set in really you have like 10 places to choose from when you're making a movie. You know what I mean? Like you're either in New York, Chicago, LA, or you're in Paris, London, or some other big city, or if you're in a Hallmark movie, you're in an undisclosed small town. But nobody's ever there's no movies set in Florida.
No.
So it's super random. So I like that. Visuals wise, I did like a lot of the fight choreography. I like the locations. I did like the cinematography, though those weird CGI shots I'm still unsure of. I'm going to give it a 174.
Okay. So the sand thing in the middle of the ocean, they stole that. And I sadly know this because I've seen the movie, but they stole it from Magic Mike.
Oh, really? Is Magic
Yeah.
Mike set in Florida, or are they just that one thing?
I think that's just that one thing. They all go to a little party and there's a bunch of them on that.
Who looks better, Channing Tatum and Magic Mike or Jake Gyllenhaal?
Well, it kind of depends on what you're going for. I would say Channing Tatum because he can dance really well, but I would also say
But if they
Jake
were
Gyllenhaal-
if they were just standing side by side. Oh,
I
I'm
mean-
looking at him. I mean, it's Jake Gyllenhaal all the way.
Yeah, it's Jake Gyllenhaal all the way.
Channing Tatum's just built like a rectangle.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal. I mean, gosh, how do I not give this a 200 for Jake Gyllenhaal's body?
Well, it would be if we were reviewing his body like we were supposed to. It'd be 1,000 out of 1,000.
Dude,
Obviously,
I'm sorry, I just keep looking at pictures of him. He is huge. This guy is massive.
Sam is developing a new crush.
New? What do you mean new, bro?
A bigger crush. How about that?
I'm just like, dude, like there's a picture of him standing next to his stunt double, and he's twice the size of his stunt double, which is usually the opposite.
Oh, 100%.
Good for him.
What does he
man.
even need a stunt double for?
I don't know.
When he falls, the concrete would just break under him.
Yeah, that's true. Jeez, bro. He's got almost 8 abs. He has 7 abs, dude.
How do you have 7?
There's the 2 that kind of everybody typically can get really easily that are right at the top of your rib cage. And then there's 2 under that, 2 under that. And then there's the bottom row, which is the hardest one to actually get definition. He's got it, but he doesn't have it split. So it's just one base layer. Now we're just
massive ab.
reviewing Jake Gyllenhaal's body, like muscle for muscle. Okay, anyway, that is less important. But you know the thumbnail of this video is just going to be just his abs.
Oh, it has to be.
Roadhouse, best movie ever? Okay.
And then just a picture of his abs.
And then just a picture of his abs. Okay, let's jump into story.
Okay.
Really,
do you
what
have
makes,
insurance?
I mean, yeah. Do you have insurance? What makes this movie is the times where he's about to kick someone's trash.
Yeah.
And is kind to them, gives them a chance to, maybe not a chance to walk away, but just kind of explains to them what's about to happen to them.
I wish there was more of that.
It's wonderful. Yeah, I would love a movie of basically just that.
Yeah.
I was kind of bummed when I realized that wasn't going to happen a lot of the times.
That only happened a few times.
Yeah. So yeah, when he says, "Do you have insurance? Like, do you have dental?" And he asks how far away the hospital is. And I love the other. There's this funny gang member.
Mo.
Is his name Mo?
Yeah, because I wrote it down.
Oh, okay. He's so funny, and he has so many funny lines.
Best.
He's the best. I love him. He's so endearing. And so he's like, "Yeah,
25 minutes away, depending on the traffic."
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. And they use that several times. I just think it's really funny. And then so he beats the crap out of all these guys.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to a shot of them in a car. And he's driving all of these guys to the hospital, which is one of the funniest story beats of the whole movie.
Amazing.
And they're driving and he just goes bump and they hit a speed bump. And everyone's like, ah! And then it just cuts to the hospital. It's so funny. Dialogue-wise, when it's funny, is very good.
It's very good.
It's like really kind of, it's quippy and clever and it's fun. And then all of the other dialogue really is just so cliche Western, which is
so cliche.
Which is fine because they're aware of it and it's a remake and they're like, hey, this is the story of a Western. So it's like, it's kind of kitschy on purpose. You can kind of see it, I guess. You can view it however you'd like to, where it's like, oh, lazy cliche or self-aware cliche. But I didn't mind it, but it is like you kind of see what's gonna happen, you know.
It's very predictable.
Yeah.
Other than the skewering at the end, I did not predict that.
No, I didn't either. I kind of just expected him to beat him in a fight, you know? I didn't really expect to stab him so many times.
No.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, you go.
I was just saying I like the uncle that named the roadhouse. And she's like, oh, yeah, he named the boat too. And it's just the boat.
It's just the boat.
Yeah.
And I finally got the joke. I was like, oh, roadhouse and the boat. It's funny.
Yeah.
It is funny. So I like when one of the head honcho's guys, you know, they pull up in their car and he gets out and he flashes his gun. And he's trying to get Jake Gyllenhaal to get in the car. And he's like, no, I'm good. And the guy's like, didn't you just don't you know that I have a gun? He's like, yeah, you made that very aware. You showed me your gun. And he's like, yeah, but the funny thing is all you have to do is break your index and middle finger and you won't be able to hold it. Well, you'll be able to hold it, but you won't be able to fire it. And it just like goes through this whole thing. And he's like, no, I'm not getting in the car. The guy pulls out the gun and he breaks both of his fingers. And he's like, you know, the good news is there's a hospital about 25 minutes away, depending on traffic.
Sweet payoff there.
It's so funny. It's so funny. So
and it's just the way he says it. It's just so nonchalant.
Yeah. Jake Gyllenhaal, I don't really know what it is, but basically no matter who he's playing, his lines are captivating.
Yeah.
There's something about when he talks, I just really want to listen.
Yeah.
Whether it's funny or it's serious or it's weird, like I always want to listen to him, which is so weird. I don't get how
he's got that presence.
Yeah. Yeah, he's so good. And then my only other note just says, McGregor isn't dead? But I guess he really didn't do any like mega kill moves on him.
No.
Like getting stabbed here wouldn't kill you. You know?
Yeah, but
he stabbed him in a bunch of spots.
Like, yeah.
But he probably drove him to the hospital. 25 minutes away. I don't know.
Because he kind of just leaves him there.
As he should. Oh, one thing I hated though, real quick. Sorry, I forgot about this. I didn't even write this down. One thing I hated was at the very end. The bar has been destroyed. There's literally a pickup truck in the bar. And the
Yeah.
guy walks in, he's like, hey, are you guys open today? And she's like, yeah, sure, we're open. And it's like, what? You should
She's
definitely
like, it's not
close.
that bad.
It's definitely not up to code at that point.
No.
I don't know.
There's
I
the
don't know who makes
freaking
the
truck
decision.
in the roadhouse.
Yes. So much exhaust.
Okay, I have a couple more notes.
Okay.
Dell getting eaten by the croc,
Oh,
which
yeah.
was so random.
It's so random, but I liked it.
I loved it. It was hilarious. Jake Gyllenhaal when he keeps waking up and he's like, damn boat dreams.
Oh, yeah. But
Yeah. And then the lady that owns the roadhouse, when she's talking about Dell, and she's like, we shouldn't be happy he's dead. And the fact that I am is a major problem and something I'm going to work on.
yeah. So it's stuff like that where it does feel very self-aware, you know?
Yeah.
It's like the writing, I think they knew what they were doing. Yeah.
When it's him and the USC fighter on the boat, and the USC fighter's like, looky here, our own little octagon. And he's like, Jake Gyllenhaal's like, who taught you shapes?
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny, dude.
And then when
So
he's
funny.
smashing him on the piano, and Jake Gyllenhaal's like, this piano is out of tune.
Yeah, that was so random.
So random, but hilarious.
So random. Very funny.
Yeah.
Okay, can you explain me something?
Yeah.
So they do a lot of flashbacks to when Gyllenhaal was in the UFC. And
Yeah.
I call him that because I don't know his actual name. And
Right.
Dalton.
Dalton, yeah.
When Jake Gyllenhaal was in the UFC, they keep doing flashbacks and you get a little bit more of the story each time. And then you finally see that he just annihilates his opponent. And once his opponent is knocked out, he keeps punching him way hard in the head.
Yeah.
Are you under the impression that he killed that guy? Or is it more of like he maimed him into paralyzation?
I think he
what?
did kill him because when the villain, the guy from Game Night, is talking to him and showing him the video, he says, do you think that's the punch that did it?
See, and I heard that and I was like, I wonder if that's like the punch that, because people, I mean, there are people in the UFC who go kind of almost mostly brain dead, but not all the way. They turn into a vegetable. So I'm like, I guess maybe they leave that up to interpretation in a way. I mean, at that point, you've killed them anyway, you know?
Yeah, it made it
or they
feel like
lived their
he
whole
killed
life
him.
in a chair, but okay. That makes sense.
Because he was so scared of snapping again.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
he just starts killing people.
Yeah. Dude, he's so good. The guy from Game Night, is he the funny guy in Game Night?
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
Oh, okay. I knew I recognized him, but I couldn't figure out like who he was.
Yeah.
Okay. You have any more story notes?
No.
Okay.
So,
I think I'm gonna give the story. It's tough because I think a lot of it is maybe some of that score is gonna go into my acting category for Gyllenhaal's delivery of lines, but some of them are written funnily. But it was just a very, very cliche Western overall with not a lot of. There were no twists
no.
in this movie, really.
No.
Except for maybe the guy getting eaten by the crocodile. Honestly,
Yeah,
that's
right?
probably the biggest.
That was so
twist.
random.
So I can't give it a huge score.
No.
Some of the dialogue was funny, but otherwise it was kind of just like meh. So I'm gonna give it a 135.
Okay. I was thinking that low. And I was like, I got to give the dialogue when it was good some brownie points. But it might be, like you said, it might be the delivery of Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Because if you put that in like with the villain, it wouldn't have worked.
Right.
So, yeah. I'll do 140.
Okay. Yeah, because when I think about as a whole, right, Gyllenhaal has like 10 to 15 really good, maybe more, maybe 20 good like kind of one-liners or little mini speeches. But then the rest of it, the 90% of the movie is kind of
Yeah.
it's kind of whatever. The dialogue was mostly fine through the whole thing, but just kind of the story beats themselves were cliche, which
Yeah.
is fair. Okay, acting. I got some things to say,
Yeah.
but go ahead.
Seeing Post Malone was great.
Yeah. Is he in any other movie ever?
I think he's been in a couple little cameos.
Okay.
My other note is Jake is jacked.
Yes, that's true.
So basically for me,
We're going to call him Jack Gyllenhaal.
Jack Gyllenhaal, yes.
Shredded.
I think Jake Gyllenhaal did great. I thought Mo was hilarious.
Yeah.
The guy from Game Night, I actually didn't really care for in this movie.
Yeah.
He was great in Game Night, but
he had moments in this where he was good because I think the only reason that he semi worked for me is because he wasn't. I mean, he was the main villain, but they made it very apparent that he's the son of the actual bad guy, and he's kind of a tryhard. So he's not as threatening, right? He tries to be threatening, but he also rolls up in his pink suits and he's not very scary and he's not very good at intimidation and stuff like that. So he kind of worked for me in that aspect because he's not intimidating.
No.
So I totally agree with you though that it's like he wasn't great by any means, but I think he pulled off kind of what he needed to in a way, but just nothing super compelling.
Yeah. I guess I thought he did a lot better in Game Night being
of
the funny kid.
Yeah.
When he kind of had to be the villain, it wasn't. He had to do a little bit more acting and it didn't feel like he could quite get there.
Yeah.
The nurse that he likes, I didn't think she was a great actress.
No. She she wasn't the worst though.
No.
I have a few bad ones.
Yeah, she wasn't the worst. To me, the USC fighter is probably my worst.
So for me, in order from worst to best of the main people, I'd probably go Conor McGregor was the worst. Then Charlie, the little girl from the bookstore.
Yeah, she was fine.
Then Frankie, the bartender. She got better as the movie went on, but at the beginning, if you close your eyes, she sounded like a voice actor from a video game cutscene.
Oh, really?
Like that really, really, I am reading lines type of dialogue. Like almost like you're reading lines, like you're an actor and you're reading lines with a friend and they're just supposed to read the lines back to you. That's what she sounded like. So it was like, oh no. And then probably Nurse Girl and then Villain and then Mo and then Jake Gyllenhaal up at the top.
Yeah.
Jacked Gyllenhaal. That's what I'm going to call him now.
Jack Gyllenhaal.
Jacked Gyllenhaal. But yeah.
Even Jack Gyllenhaal though. This is going to be his new name. Jack Gyllenhaal felt underutilized.
Oh, 100%.
Like he had a few good lines and some fight scenes, but like other than that, he just kind of sat around.
I kind of wonder if because we got such golden mini moments that everything else felt worse.
Yeah.
Because like pretend none of the really good funny stuff was in there at all. Maybe his like the movie overall or his not his performance, but his utilization would have felt a little bit better. But because you get those little snippets of just magic, and then you don't get them for 30 minutes, and then you get one more, and then you don't get them for 30 minutes, and you get one more, it starts to feel like, oh my gosh, I just want this. Just give me this portion of the movie. So I wonder if they didn't do as good of a job at either spacing them out or kind of giving us more or balancing it a little bit better. Maybe that's why he felt so underutilized.
Yeah. I just want more of him.
Because he's magic. Yeah.
He is.
Oh, yeah. He is captivating as they come.
You take Nightcrawler and you take him out of that, and that movie is nothing.
Dude, and apparently this is a hot take, even Far From Home, there is something about him in that movie that just makes him always work. I don't know how it works.
Well, he makes Tom Holland look not as good with how good he is.
Yeah.
But for some reason,
true.
Tom Holland, with all the Avengers and stuff, like he fits in. But then when Jake Gyllenhaal's in Far From Home, it feels like his acting isn't as good anymore because Jake Gyllenhaal's so good.
Dude, Jake Gyllenhaal rarely crossed my mind at all over the last 28 years. And up until a few months ago, like I hadn't thought of him. And now, these past few months that I've seen so many of his movies, I'm starting to realize that one, he's so good.
He's so good.
And two, he might be one of the most underrated actors of all time.
Oh, 100%. All time.
He's so incredible. We've seen so many movies now with him. Like he's probably our most recurring actor in our movies.
Probably, because I love him so much.
We've done, what's the kidnapping movie?
Prisoners.
Nightcrawler.
Source Code.
Roadhouse. That's 4.
That's probably
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah, that's probably all of them. But I don't know of anybody else who's been in 4 movies that we've done.
I don't think so.
So, but yeah, I mean, he's just there's something special about that boy. I'll tell you what.
He's definitely like the most underrated.
Yeah, and he's kind of like oddly. I mean, is he a B-list actor? A B-list celebrity? It's tough because I feel like he's a limbo guy.
Yeah.
Where he's like an A- for people, you know?
Yeah.
Because he's not Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise or Tom Hanks or any of that. But he's not a rando.
No, but he's not like, oh man, I need to go see this because Jake Gyllenhaal's in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like he's under Ryan Gosling for sure. They're not going to pan to Jake Gyllenhaal at the Oscars because I don't even know if he goes. But he's better.
Oh, he's way better.
It's strange. It's weird how it works.
Yeah.
But Ryan Gosling is beautiful, so good for him.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah. He's all right. Anyway, so the acting was honestly all over the place.
Okay.
And when you have Jake Gyllenhaal acting opposite Conor McGregor, it is very hard to score the acting of the movie. Very hard.
Jake Gyllenhaal, 195 because he was underutilized. His performance was a 200. And then Mo
everybody else.
Mo's like a 180 because he was just funny. And then everybody else is like under 100.
I know. I'm going to have to average this out to a 164.
Okay.
Because Jake Gyllenhaal carries so much weight.
I know. I don't want to score it low because of him.
I know, but think of how
did bad.
Isolate Conor McGregor. How bad was that?
No.
What would you give Conor McGregor out of 200?
For the fighting, I'd give him
for the talking. Just the talking.
Oh, probably a 2. It was really bad.
Oh gosh, yeah, it's pretty bad.
It was so distracting.
I'd give him like a 30 because I could tell he was trying. Give him some participation points.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so what are you gonna give it overall?
I'll do a 150.
Okay. Wow, generous Craig.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you think about the score? Was there a score outside of? I was just gonna say music, but that's not the right way to phrase that. Was there a
score other than
for this?
songs?
Songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there anything outside of that?
I don't know. I have 2 notes.
Okay.
Which is the new Horsepower song by Post Malone.
That you guys, every day, Craig comes into work and he's sobbing. And he just says, the song by Post Malone is still not out yet.
It's so good.
So
it is a certified banger.
It is a certified banger. This is true.
So I want it without the end credit scene sound effects in it.
That's honestly fair.
And then I have another note that says Final Fight song was good, but I don't remember what it was.
The Final Fight song was good.
But was it a song or was it just music?
That's a good question. I don't actually know. I liked the bar music.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Which was a lot of the music from the movie.
Yeah. That was the majority of it.
Yeah.
It was a good soundtrack.
Yeah, it was decent. It was a good soundtrack.
Yeah. I give it a 170.
I don't know if there were a lot of songs that I had heard before.
No.
But I liked it, honestly. I'll give it a 178.
Yeah. Every time that the bands would play, I was like, oh, okay. I can vibe to this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Vibe.
My only note is a little slow.
Yeah.
So.
Agreed.
Do you have anything for vibe?
I don't have anything written down except for that I just like it.
Yeah.
I just had fun.
It's a fun throwaway movie.
Yeah, it's kind of the way I look back on it and think about it. It's like, okay, I was bored for a little bit, but then I forgot that I was bored when I was watching the fighting.
Yeah.
And then I got bored again, and then I watched the fighting, right? So.
But would you ever watch it again?
I'd probably watch it one more time.
Really?
Yeah, one or two more times, just for the fighting, though. And it would
probably
be
just watch
more.
Clips.
It would probably be more. Like, I would probably never watch this movie by myself again.
But maybe some friends came over.
But maybe if someone's like, oh, like, what do you want to watch? I'd probably be like, have you seen Roadhouse yet? Because it's fun to show somebody a newer movie if they haven't seen it yet, so they can kind of be a little bit up with pop culture and stuff. So I'd probably like say like, oh, like it's just fighting and stuff, but also some kissing on the beach. Just kidding. So I mean,
there's a guy's butt.
Yeah, and you can see Conor McGregor's butt not once but twice, which nobody needed. Also, no definition in the butt either. Where does this guy's definition go?
Dude,
anyway,
he's got no butt.
He's got no butt abs. I bet you if we had seen Jake Gyllenhaal's butt, abs.
I wish we'd have seen his butt.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll do a 154.
Oh, that is pretty low.
Well, that's like my 7.2 pretty much.
Okay. Ugh. I'll give it a 182. Okay. No, 183. It's got to get that extra point.
Just for the abs.
Because of the skewering.
Yeah.
And the abs. Okay,
so this skewer is a point.
This felt like a pretty medium movie for us.
Yeah.
You know, we both kind of liked it, but nothing besides Jake Gyllenhaal acting and the fights. Everything else was mediocre to low on this
and the Post Malone
movie
song.
And the Post Malone song, right? And then those three things were kind of great. So, what do you think? What are we thinking you gave it?
721.
I'll bet you're in the sixes.
You think I'm in the sixes?
I think so. I'm gonna say I gave it a 699. Okay, Craig.
No.
Oh, what? I'm so wrong. You gave it a 781. Did you say 21 or 81?
I said 21.
Oh. And I gave it a 834.
You're higher than me.
Yeah. I'm tripping today, dude.
What'd you give it?
Tripping. 834.
Okay. I was like 699. I'm like, what?
No, it just felt like everything was so low. But I mean, I'm in the one. It was that 135 threw me off. I don't know what to guess for box office on this. I don't know if we can guess. We've tried to guess streams in the past.
Yeah.
I don't know how that even works.
I don't
like
either.
Extraction 2, our guesses were 12 and 8, and the answer was 42.2.
Yeah. I think that was million views.
Oh, okay. So what do you guess? Just to guess.
It was Amazon, right?
Yeah. So it's going to be lower than a Netflix, I bet.
I'd say maybe 6 million.
I'm going to guess 14.
Okay.
Are you talking of all time or just like right now?
Oh, I guess just because Extraction was like the
Was it
opening
at the
day
time?
or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. If we're doing that, then I'm not doing 14. I'd say lower. Well, I'll say 7.
Okay, so if it's all time, I'll do 12.
Okay. And I'll do 14. So we're both just going to double our number.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Let's see if I can even find it. I probably can't. When did this come out? Oh, so we've done one weekend.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to Google.
Ugh.
Roadhouse 2024.
Yeah, what do you...
I'm going to Google the stream count. And it might not even be out yet because sometimes it takes them. Yeah, sometimes it takes them weeks to get like streaming numbers up. So I bet we won't be able to see it.
Okay.
Or did you find it?
I found minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so, do a new guess.
Okay.
I know what it is, but the first
Minutes.
the first day of its release, how many minutes do you think were watched?
Well, how long is it?
It's
It's
almost 2 hours.
So it's 120 minutes. Hold on. I gotta pull up the calculator. I'm not gonna be able to do accurate math in my head. 120 minutes times, I'll bet you not very many people. I'll bet it was 300,000.
300,000 minutes?
So I'm gonna say is that 36 million? 36 million minutes?
Okay.
What is it?
121.5 million minutes.
Wow.
So basically, if you think about
So it's
that,
a million
a
views.
million people watched it
That's
if they finished it all the way.
yeah.
That's just in its first day.
Seems good. I don't actually know what the I don't know what's good and bad on that, but
It says it amassed a respectable 121.5 million minutes.
Okay.
So,
solid.
sure.
Sure. To me, that's solid.
Yeah.
I've never even watched anything for 121 million minutes.
No.
Didn't Billy Joseph write a song about that? 121 million minutes watched. I don't know. I don't know what it means.
Oh, man.
Okay. Well,
All right.
solid film, good movie,
Yeah.
and go team. Real quickly, I just
Amazon,
want to
watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say watch it.
Yeah, it's a fun one watch.
Yeah. Agreed. Real quick, Dune 2. Right now, we are at $577 million.
Yeah, but Ghostbusters did really well.
Did it?
Yeah, it opened to like almost 45 million, I think.
We are sitting just about $33 million under my guess.
Yeah.
And about $350 million
yeah.
under yours.
With
what are you
how
thinking
well
now?
Kung Fu Panda 4 and Ghostbusters did, I don't think it's gonna.
You don't think it's gonna get up there?
I think it might end around 650, maybe 7.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's gonna do more than that.
If Dune was 2 hours or less, it would make 50% more money
Yeah.
because people would go back. Because if
Yeah.
you look at just online, it is Dune 2 is the thing right now, right? People aren't talking about Kung Fu Panda or Ghostbusters. Everybody's talking about Dune. They're memeing Dune, they're raving about Dune, but it's too long to go back to see.
Yeah.
Like I said last week, if I have to open the calendar app on my phone to make time to go see a movie, it is too long.
At the same time, though, freaking Avatar 2 did 2.3 billion.
I know. Avatar is an anomaly. That one's weird.
Yeah.
Avatar is kind of something that I don't think could ever be recreated as far as box office goes.
I don't think so.
Of just like a random thing that just like gets made.
Yeah.
Like Star Wars and stuff, that's easy, right? Because you already have the Star Wars. But just like, when's the next time somebody's going to make a movie based off of nothing that makes $3 billion?
Well,
It's
I guess
gonna be
it
a
was
while.
kind of like the original Star Wars.
Right,
where
the
it was
original
this
Star Wars, right? But that was
brand
50
new
years
thing.
ago. Yeah. So, yeah.
Mm.
Well, neato. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today
Yeah.
on this
Anything else?
episode. No,
Mm.
that's all she wrote. We should go see a movie soon, maybe Godzilla.
Yeah, I wanted to go see Godzilla with my brother, so
Is that out this week?
it's out this week. Yeah.
Sweet.
So maybe we can try and do it for next week
Yeah.
if we got time.
Yeah. Yeah,
Alright.
sick. Okay.
Well,
You're up.
join us for another delightful episode of Red Egotistical Apples create tons in olives.
Oh.
A new O.
Yeah.
Now, totally impregnated model eggs.
Impregnated. I was really, really waiting for ostrich nests.
Give me the chocolate chips.
Maybe. Maybe it just didn't want me to say what I was saying.